Well, that was pretty stupid of me. I didn't even realize we weren't live the entire time. I feel like a dumbass.
Are we live now?
Yeah, we're live. You can come back on. Sorry about that. I'm an idiot.
Oh,
I didn't even realize didn't even hit the go live. I was in a rush to get on here, but oh well.
Gadingus! Nah, just kidding.
Yeah, fucking cannoli.
Okay, Gordon Ramsay.
No, that's my new favorite insult. When
You
I'm
fucking
streaming.
donkey.
And somebody says something stupid, I go, yeah, fucking cannoli. I don't know why. I just said it once on stream, and that's my new favorite insult right now is calling people
just wondering if
cannolis.
you got your photos printed?
What is printed?
What?
Oh no.
Oh god, what now?
Stupid cannoli.
No,
You stupid fucking cannoli.
Molto idiota.
Ugh, crap. Well,
Okay.
let's start all over. My name is Raj. Below me is RoboGuy75 and
Yo.
yeah. So in case you haven't wondered, what the hell were we talking about just a few minutes ago? Well, like a dumbass, I thought I went live, but we didn't. So there you go.
It's been a bit of a crazy weekend. It was 4th of July weekend for everyone.
Yep, and just a couple days prior to 4th of July is our good buddy Ethan's birthday today. That day. So, happy belated birthday.
No, it's my wife's birthday today. Thank you, sir.
And yep.
Happy birthday for you, and happy birthday for Casey.
And we will be hearing from her in just a bit later in the episode. We'll get to that when we get to that. But as for what the hell has been happening for the past week, well, there's a reason why I'm calling episode 12 Supermellow, because it was super mellow. Like, it was just a pretty average week, nothing too spectacular. But we did manage to get some bits of news here and there for you. So without further ado, this is just a little taste of what is to come today. So let's begin. So as the first dot implies, we have officially began the Superman era. We got a new animated show on Adult Swim /Max called My Adventures with Superman. It started last year, and season 2 is currently ongoing right now. I haven't seen season 2 yet, but I did see the first season, and it is amazing. It is exactly what Superman should frickin' be. Not hopeless, depressing bullcrap. Just a light-hearted show about a man just wanting to do the right thing. You can definitely see the anime influence in this series, which is pretty welcomed, actually. There are some character designs I am not really a fan of, like Lex Luthor or Deathstroke. Yeah, for some reason, Deathstroke is in this show, and he looks kind of questionable.
Wait, why is Deathstroke in this? Isn't he more maybe like a Batman or Teen Titans character?
I don't know. Why is Wiki Vale in the show either?
Yeah, I mean, but the thing is, you got to remember, DC is all one universe, so they can really, and I think they did that intentionally, so they can just move villains around whenever they want.
That's true.
I mean, there was that whole arc where the Joker kidnaps Superman's son. So, yeah, that's when Batman kills the Joker and goes to jail.
And even Batman Beyond, there was kind of like that
Spoilers.
futuristic Justice League that had like Superman, a Green Lantern, Big Barda, and so forth.
Dude,
Yep.
I want a live action Batman so much. A Batman Beyond live action, because
Same.
Yeah, we all do. Like,
Actually, wasn't there supposed to be like a Spider-Verse looking type Batman Beyond film?
Yeah, but Warner Brothers hates money. David Zaslav hates money from animated projects.
Dude, honestly, look at the one movie they made for Batman Beyond, The Return of the Joker, was one of the greatest Batman movies ever made.
That flashback scene with the essentially what happened to the Joker is freaking chilling as hell.
Yeah, what was his name? Which one was that? That was it wasn't Dick Grayson, it was
Tim Drake.
Tim Drake, thank you.
But all too soon the serums and the shocks took their toll, and the dear lad began to share such secrets with me. Secrets that are mine alone to know. Bruce.
gross. No, I just love it when he gets shot. That's not funny.
That's
Okay,
not.
I don't know why I'm not able to see the chat over here. That's kind of weirding me out a little bit. But I have Twitch open up on a separate page. But Captain Nemo 425 mentioned that the live-action Arkham series is now not happening. Yeah, there was supposed to be
Why?
a spin-off. I have no idea. I just got the alert from Captain Nemo just now. There's not going to be any Arkham Asylum spin. Originally, it was supposed to be part of the Matt Reeves, Robin Pattinson, the Batman universe, but James Gunn took that, and now it's no longer happening. I don't.
But it would have been so good, and it leads itself so well to being like a miniseries, like Gotham. Like they could have made a season-long Arkham Asylum TV series, right? And they don't even have to use like Robert Pattinson. They can use, some mid-tier TV actor, like they did with Tom Welling in Smallville, and it was amazing, right? Find some mid-tier TV actor who's done some stuff, some notoriety, put him in, and make an Arkham Asylum like TV series, and do like a one-off of that. And it could have been amazing because Arkham Asylum really does lend itself to that kind of narrative. Being that it wasn't super action-based, it was more about problem-solving and narrative. So I think that would have been perfect.
It would have been perfect for a horror-themed aesthetic. Like, if you played the original Arkham Asylum on Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, that definitely fits the more horror theme, especially with the Scarecrow bit. I would love to see that. But, you know what? Maybe it might end up on Amazon Prime.
The only thing I have a problem with that is look what Prime does with their series, the 8-episode bullshit, like they did with Has-Been, like they did with Fallout. They take them and they condense them down and don't give them enough time to make to really flush out the stories. And we've seen it a lot with Amazon lately.
I only say that is because Batman: The Caped Crusader, which is an upcoming animated series co-produced by Matt Reeves, it's appearing on Prime, not on Max. Because once again, David Zaslav, for whatever the hell reason, has it out against animation. And considering it isn't just any Batman animated show. This is animated by the Batman animator, Paul Dini. Like, you have the most prized possession on your hands, and you give it to one of your competitors. Batman is your biggest moneymaker, you dumbass.
Batman always has been. Like when people, I love when people try to say that the modern superhero movies started with Iron Man. It's like, nah, dude. Did you see the '90s Batman movies, the '80s Batman movies,
exactly,
or the '70s and early '80s Superman films?
It's so
I mean, like,
stupid, man.
Batman and Superman have carried the superhero industry. Like, and don't get me wrong, I am more of a Marvel stan than a DC stan. And I can say 100% Batman and Superman have carried superhero movies for 50 years.
Yeah. Couldn't agree more. And what's crazy is, like, for the last 10 years, these two titans, essentially, they became kind of one of the same, which is inaccurate as fuck because Superman is the complete polar opposite to that of Batman, right? But yet, within the last 10 years, like, Superman is basically acting the same as Batman, and that pisses me off. Like, isn't Superman supposed to be, like, the lighthearted goofball of the DC universe? I mean, come on.
I don't know about goofball. If we're talking goofball, that's always been the Flash. The Flash was always comic relief. Yeah, he was definitely more laid back. He was definitely more laid back. I feel like
optimistic. It was his optimism that drove the character.
Yeah, he was the American dream. He was supposed to be confident and upbeat and like he was supposed to be positive. Like you said, Batman was the brooding, dark, tortured one. I feel like that changed back in the 90s. Like I feel like it was back in the 90s where Superman really kind of just became this stoic Thor-esque character.
Yeah, pretty much.
Which honestly, speaking of characters being ruined and going from serious to goofy, is I think I like him as an actor. The portrayal of Thor in the Marvel movies is atrocious. from what the comics were, he was not this drunk goofball asshole. He was a god. You know, like if you read the old comics and you look at them, Thor was the leader of the Avengers for a long time, right? He was the leader of the Avengers, and he was this serious, stoic character who Kratos killing gods.
This is God of War Ragnarok. In this game features Thor that is more accurate than that of the MCU.
I mean, dude, I could write a bad Yowie fanfic that would be more accurate than the MCU.
Pretty much. But now with Superman, like I said, I've been wanting to see the return of the lighthearted, optimistic, hopeful character that the character has been known for, but it has suddenly been put to the side in favor of Injustice and the DCEU. And we caught a glimpse of it with My Adventures with Superman. No, not a glimpse. We got a whole view of it from the return of the Red Trunks and everything. It was like, is that what's going to happen with James Gunn's upcoming movie next year? If that's the case, I would be more than happy to see that. And judging by the recent set photos, which we're going to get into right now. Okay, so this is not real, by the way. This is AI generated.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I want them to, and I'm really excited that Deadpool's doing is bringing comic lore accurate outfits. I feel like obviously the Christopher Reeve Superman was super lore accurate. Since then, they've tried to make it too macho. Like they've tried darkening it and making it edgier. And just, dude, I want my bright blue, my bright red, my bright yellow. I want him to look flamboyant as fuck.
I want to be colorful. Just be colorful. And we might be getting that, judging by, well, this is not helping. Honestly, this is the worst image you could have used to reveal your upcoming Superman. It's clearly battle damaged, and if you've seen any more recent set photos, he's clearly wearing a battle damaged suit, which, fine, whatever. I'll take that. But, thankfully, oh wait, this is Clark Kent. This is awesome. Okay, first off, this is awesome. Like this right here is a step in the right direction.
The best Clark Kent we ever got is still Tom Welling.
That's true.
He was not a great Superman, but he was an amazing Clark Kent.
Amazing Clark, yeah, I agree. But in terms of the look,
the hunched forward, the less confident, he does a good job of it.
If you've ever read All-Star Superman, not the animated movie, no, the comic book, they made him. They intentionally made Clark Kent look hunched over, look chubby as hell, like baggy clothes and all that. You know, this is what I imagine he would look like in live action. This is, so far, perfect step up. But now we get to the actual review.
Yeah. The set pieces, the pictures that have been released look good.
Oh,
they look like there's potential.
I'm so happy about this. The logo on the cape itself, through the colors. I do agree that the lines aren't great. They're unnecessary as hell.
And he looks, and I'm hoping they fix this in post. It looks like the outfit's hanging off him, like he's too thin.
It looks baggy as hell. I do agree with that. Because
I noticed that when I first saw the stuff.
Because about a year ago, when I heard that it was David Cornswith, that's the actor's name, he looked pretty fit, but he wasn't Superman fit. But as recent months
he's
went
not
by,
Henry Cavill.
Now he is. Now he freaking is, actually. He's probably the biggest Superman we've ever get. But the problem is, this suit does not do his physique justice. Because if you've seen
it's poorly
his
tailored.
current body work, it looks big. He looks pretty big.
Yeah.
This does not does it justice. But hopefully in post, we'll probably get a much more better picture here.
Either that or the costume department did a terrible, terrible job because that is not well tailored. Like I'm not saying it has to be skin tight, but I mean it should be tight enough that it looks like he's not.
I can
It's
see
not
what they're
wearing
trying to
off him.
do because it is the same costume team behind Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. That it like saying that out loud makes a lot more sense now because well, it literally looks like it was ripped straight out of Guardians instead of Superman, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I could like change some parts a little bit. He could have literally looked like the. Okay, I know they mentioned him in the movie, but actually the hero Nova.
Yeah.
Or if anything,
like-
he kind of looks like a more like red, yellow, and blue version of Adam Warlock.
Yeah, kind of.
I hope they fix it up a little bit, or maybe they can go back and fix some of the costumes.
What I do like,
That's been my biggest complaint of all the leaks that I've seen, is it just looks like the suit's hanging off of him, which makes him look weak. It sucks, but it makes him look weak.
what I do like about the suit, however, is that you can see the influences from various different versions of the costume. From the shield being very much Kingdom Come, to the bright colors of both the Christopher Reeves as well as also our Superman. The collar is clearly New 52 inspired, which I'm okay with that. I'm okay with the collar. It's something that we haven't seen in live action before. I'll let that slide. That's totally fine. But I also want to emphasize that I think I have a good idea as to why he looks baggy. And it's all context. Context is key when it comes to this shit. And personally, I would like to see an actual trailer rather than just relying on set photos, honestly, because it doesn't do the whole entire project justice. For example, as you see, we got our first look of Nathan Fillion's Guy Gardner and a Hawkgirl and Mr. Terrific. Now, first off, Terrific looks amazing. He looks phenomenal here, okay? But Hawkgirl and Guy Gardner, what the hell is
They look
going on?
lame. Yeah. Like
And
that looks like somebody cosplaying Nathan Fillion. It doesn't look like Nathan Fillion.
That's what I was thinking.
Like it
But
legit looks like somebody cosplaying a Nathan.
But hold
Fillion.
on, Nathan Fillion's gonna be in this movie?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's him. That's the blonde. That's Nathan Fillion.
Yeah, he's Guy Gardner.
Weird, considering he was Hal. Actually, why couldn't he just be like Hal Jordan or something? I mean, he literally played him in animated form a few times.
Yeah,
James
but-
Gunn.
And also, there's a stigma around live action Hal at this point,
Oh, true. That's
so they
true.
might not want to touch that with a 10-foot pole.
Thanks, Wade.
But,
I don't blame Ryan Reynolds. I blame everybody involved in the directing and writing department for that travesty.
Thank you. Go after the people writing this shit. Don't
get
go
me
after
wrong.
the actors.
Ryan Reynolds hammed it up and phoned it in. That is true. It's probably one of the worst acting roles I've seen out of Ryan Reynolds, and I've seen Waiting. Right? Like it's not like it. Waiting was not great. Maybe if you're a server, you can get it. But anyway, like honestly, it's not the worst thing I've ever seen him in. But you can't put it solely on him like it was his fault that was crap.
Yeah.
Like everybody else in that movie. I mean, come on, look at all the actors and actresses you had in that movie. All of them sucked. Everybody, I think, phoned it in because I think everybody involved knew that was going to be crap.
Yeah, unfortunately.
I love in Deadpool 2 when he goes back and shoots himself so he can't do it.
But back to the whole context is key here. On the logo, not the main, Green Lantern logo. I'm talking about on the white suit itself. There's a logo for Maxwell Lord. Now, Maxwell Lord is he's kind of like a Lex Luthor light type situation, where like he's kind of like Lex Luthor, but he isn't as big of a dick compared to.
Wait, didn't we already have Maxwell Lord in Wonder Woman 84? Forget it. That movie doesn't exist.
Yeah, we're not talking about that bullshit. But like his logo is on the suit, so I am going to. I'm just making a theory here. This may or may not be true. Okay, a bunch of superheroes are very, very much like they're trying. He wants to have superheroes on his payroll, and he allows them to do whatever the hell they want. They're allowed to let loose, meaning they're allowed. Like basically, it's DC's answer to Vought from The Boys, where they're part of a major corporation and all that. That's why we have.
That's why they're all wearing matching outfits.
Exactly, right? And yet we get Superman, who is the complete outlier here, who's like, his suit is clearly made by his mother, his human mother, which I hope that's the case, hence why it looks a little more baggier than, what Henry Cavill had, I hope this is the case, because it proves that, like, yeah, okay, I kind of like this notion that, okay, this rich asshole wants to have superheroes on his payroll so he can make himself look better than Lex Luthor. But Lex Luthor is, well, Lex fucking Luthor. He's going to do something to prove otherwise. That superheroes are completely pointless. That he's the dominant man in the world. That's what I think is going to happen. Yeah, exactly. So, also, I love the fact that, like, if you look at the bottom right image right over here, that's a squirrel. That's a squirrel. Are they bringing in Chip?
I don't know. It could just be him petting a squirrel. Who knows?
Why would he pet a fucking squirrel out of...
Bruh, would anything at this point surprise you inside Marvel and DC movies? Come on.
That's true.
They literally had a breakdance off in the end of the first Guardians movie. Or second Guardians movie. Come on. Whichever one it was.
They dance all the fucking time.
But that's how he beats the bad guy, is he literally like starts breakdance. Like, what?
I don't care. I love that shit. That to me is
but that was James Gunn also, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So anyway, it's not outside the realm of possibility that James Gunn is doing some weird shit.
It's not like I could hack my way into the script to see what the hell's going on. Speaking of hacking, okay, so we got a Watch Dogs live-action movie that began filming earlier this week. It's directed by Mateo Turi. Screenplay is by Christy LeBlanc and Victoria Bada. Stars Sophie Wilde and Tom Blight. Tom Blight, he starred in the recent Hunger Games prequel, based on the hit video game series by Ubisoft. And why the hell should we give a fuck?
Okay, me personally, I never really care for Watch Dogs or something. So if anyone here has some more knowledge about it, go right ahead. I'm just saying, for me personally, I have no opinion on the Watch Dogs game, so I don't really have that much to say.
I think as much as the game was a bust, it could be a really cool dystopian, like kind of almost Total Recall-esque like game without as much sci-fi as Total Recall. It's that kind of futuristic dystopian like world. I think potential there. I think looking at the names of everyone involved, I don't think they're putting a lot behind it, so I'm not expecting much. And let's be honest. How many really good video game movies have there been in the last 20 years? Like, Fallout's a series. We'll say that Fallout did good. The Last of Us did good, but those were series, they weren't movies, right? How many really good... Okay, that's one. What else you got?
What are your thoughts on the Super Mario movie from last
year? Didn't like it. I didn't like it personally.
Okay.
I thought it was too hammy and cheesy.
I honestly actually really I would say I really enjoyed it, but I wouldn't really say go out of my way and say it's anything amazing. I felt like it got the job done, and I had a lot of fun with it. Though I feel like it could have, and maybe this is just more of like an Illumination thing. It could have eased up on someone like the Pop's songs. I mean, some of them were fine. I didn't really mind them too much, but the scene where they're essentially in like Donkey Kong Land or something, why the hell did they do a Take On Me when they clearly could have used freaking Jungle Japes or something? Hell, especially like this awesome one from like Tropical Freeze that would have fit perfectly for this game, for that scene. Yeah. But nope, we just do Take On Me, which I like the song, but it does not fit that scene.
It felt like a pandering. It felt like a 2-hour-long TikTok thing. Like, that's what
also,
it felt like.
Most of the voice actors, I actually didn't mind. Most of them I thought were okay.
Why didn't they just bring in the originals? Why didn't they just bring in the originals? I think all of them are alive at this point. Why not just bring in the originals?
Well,
I'll say this.
They kind of did.
Cranky Kong was fucking horrible. When you make the one from the Donkey Kong Country animated series more much better, then you screwed up. I mean, even Seth Rogen, which, okay, I didn't really mind too much, but it was still a bit of a weird choice, but I literally could not stand Cranky Kong. You literally could have gotten anyone, but no, you just went with that guy, and he was just fucking horrible. I could not stand him.
That's why I'm going to say I'm looking at this, and look at these names involved. How many of these names do you recognize? Off the top of your head, without having to Google them, how many of these names do you recognize?
In terms of
In the words of Patrick Starr,
Actors, writers,
"Woo,
directors,
people!"
You get what I'm saying? And like we actually know a lot about the industry. You more so than us, Raj. And like even so, these names are for the most part. I think I've
the
heard of one
problem
or
with
two of them.
the problem with the Mario movie, okay, is
Well, I'm talking about Watchdog, not Mario movie.
Oh, Watch Dogs. Oh, I have a bone to pick with Watch Dogs in a moment. Just give me a second, okay? See, what I loved about Mario is that yes, well, the actors are well-known actors that we all know, like Chris Pratt, Anya Taylor, etc. Right? That's fine, but at least they kept true to what Mario is supposed to be. Just stupid, goofy, fun bullshit, right? That's what I liked about it.
Yeah.
And they still gave respect to Charles Martinet by playing his freaking father. That's kind of cool. Well, you got to give him that.
I mean, I get what you're saying, but I feel like it was a 2-hour-long TikTok.
That's fair. I'll give you that.
But back to the Watch Dogs. Like, look at the list of names you have on the screen.
This movie
right
is gonna suck. You want to know why? Let me tell you why.
Why?
Okay. Yeah. Other than Tom Blythe, which, like I said, he appeared in the recent Hunger Games prequel. Matthew Turi, Christy LeBlanc, and Victoria Bada do not have Wikipedia pages. They don't.
Oh,
they
well,
don't.
that was the point I was making. Is like, how many names do you really recognize? These are all people that the studio was putting no money or faith behind this. If they had any money or faith, they would have put some more into it.
And Ubisoft in general, like, let's be real. Ubisoft within the last decade,
don't even get me started.
Stop caring. They don't care anymore. They don't.
They're all about cash grabs. They don't give a shit about quality.
They don't. They're always in it to follow the trends, so to speak. God of War 2018, a pretty highly successful video game on the PlayStation 4/5, right? What does Ubisoft do? Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Yep.
Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Ghost of Tsushima, another pretty highly successful. In case you even noticed, Ubisoft is targeting Sony because
I don't think they're targeting. I think that they're just trend following.
They are, but they're mostly picking on both Sony and Star Wars with Star Wars Outlaws. But I'll touch on Star Wars Outlaws in a hot minute, okay? Ghost of Tsushima, also a pretty well-known, well-beloved game for the PlayStation 5 or 4, albeit it's long as fuck. If you have the time to play it. I highly recommend it. But if you do not have any time, you can skip it. That's just my recommendation. But I will say the game is what Assassin's Creed should have freaking been. The problem is Ubisoft finally caught on, and they decided to drop Assassin's Creed Shadows, a Japanese-based Assassin's Creed game.
We've only been asking for it since the first one.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's already.
We've only been asking for feudal Japan since the first Assassin's Creed game. But yeah, no, I mean, it only took 15 years, 20 years, whatever. Yeah.
And the dumbass behind the third Assassin's Creed game legit thought that Assassin's Creed game that took place in World War II, feudal Japan, and Egypt were terrible locations for Assassin's Creed games. No joke.
Yeah, we did the Revolution,
do Egypt though with Origins,
which was more of a Cold War than anything.
Well, remember, Assassin's Creed 3 came out long before Origins was even a thing.
I know, but I'm saying, like, if you look at it, Assassin's Creed 3 took place during one of the least action-packed wars in America's history. The Revolution, yeah, there was some big battles, but most of it was a just kind of Cold War. There was a lot of back and forth without a lot of shots fired.
Yep.
You know, there was some really big battles in there. Like, let me not act like there wasn't any action, but it also wasn't. It wasn't World War II. It wasn't feudal Japan.
Would you say even the American Civil War had more action to it, or not really?
Oh yeah, the American Civil War was crazy, dude. Look up the body count for the American Civil War and what the U.S. population was during the American Civil War. So.
Yeah, it was like pretty nuts. I mean, you had Gettysburg, Chancellorsville, and a whole bunch of other crazy fights.
Oh yeah, dude, it was nuts. It was honestly nuts. So,
okay.
But honestly, I'm kind of speaking of video game movies. Did you see that? There's just movies real fast while we're on the subject. There's two big ones that are kind of rumored right now. I don't know if they're officially confirmed. Well, one I'm fairly certain is officially confirmed. One is still just rumored. Did you hear about the new Spaceballs?
Oh my god! Yeah.
They're finally making a Spaceball sequel. The only downside, Josh Gad is the lead.
God damn it!
Wait, aren't like most of the actors like gone though, or something, or like retired?
No, I think they're all still alive at this point, other than John Candy.
John Candy's dead.
Well, like I said, other than John Candy, I think they're all still alive except for John Candy. So that one, I'm excited because Mel Brooks, but also Josh Gad. I haven't seen Josh Gad in anything where I thought, wow, this is a good actor. He tried to be John Leguizamo and failed.
Yeah,
and
much.
the other one that's rumored, and I'm really excited for because you know how I feel about it. Mm-hmm. They're making another Resident Evil with Mia Jovovich.
Oh, okay.
And it's being done. And it's being done by Screen Gems, the guys who did the originals. So, like, if that's actually legit and it actually happens, it's going to be interesting because it's supposed to be what happens after the last film, after the sixth film. So it's going to be interesting because in the end of the sixth film, spoilers, this movie came out like 8 years ago. So if you haven't seen it by this point, sorry. She wipes out all the zombies. She wipes out all the zombies. So, like, it's going to be interesting to see what they do with it. But it's not like zombies are the only thing. Like, obviously, Umbrella's done other experiments, other creatures, other stuff. So I'm kind of curious if they actually do it, what it's going to be. But bringing back the original writer, which is supposed to be Paul W.S. Anderson, and bringing back Mia Jovovich should bring it back to top tier. Because the last two Resident Evil movies we got were crap. That stupid Netflix series was one of the most flaming hot piles of garbage I've ever seen.
What are you talking
Lance
about?
Reddick could... The Resident Evil series. The Netflix Resident Evil series.
What are you talking about? We don't... There's no such thing as a Resident Evil Netflix series.
He likes to joke that it's something so bad that it doesn't exist.
Listen, if Lance Reddick couldn't save it, it's not salvageable. Because Lance Reddick, but Lance Reddick is such a good actor in everything he's in. He always elevates it. And let's be honest, him as Wesker was the best thing in that series. Like, I watched a couple episodes and I just couldn't finish it. But when he walks into the teacher and he's like, yeah, I am who I am. You're nobody. I will have you replaced tomorrow. I'm Albert goddamn Wesker. I was like, well, damn, Lance. It doesn't matter how good he was. That series was just hot, flaming garbage. So considering their last three attempts that Sony has made, making a Resident Evil thing or trying to cash in on it, it hasn't worked. I like that the idea is that they're going to go back to their roots and go back to who made it work. Because the great thing is, I don't know if you know the history behind it, like if you watch any behind the scenes stuff, the way the first Resident Evil got made was that Paul W.S. Anderson and Mia Jovovich, who are, married, they were playing it and they liked it so much that they sat down and wrote the first movie. Like, they were fans who made that movie, So, and that's why it was so good, was because it was fan made, like Fallout. The reason the Fallout series was so good is everybody involved in it was a fan, except for Walton Goggins, who did an amazing job. But
speaking of those that actually do their fucking homework regarding adaptations of popular shit, like, I'm not a fan, nor do I really care, nor am I looking forward to the upcoming Borderlands movie. Yeah,
but Kate Blanchett actually went and did her research.
Yeah, she actually bought a PlayStation 5 just to play Borderlands.
Even the main actress from the Fallout show actually did her research too.
Yep.
I wish that more talent like her could actually do that. Like, unlike the Harley Quinn reject that is in the upcoming movie. I don't know what the fuck her name is. The one who's playing Tiny Tina. Like, yeah, you're playing Tiny Tina. Why are you comparing her to Harley Quinn? What the fuck are you doing?
No, Tiny Tina.
Like my sister is like a massive Borderlands fan, and even she is like saying like a lot of the inaccuracy, especially like I forget the guy's name, but the character that Kevin Hart is playing, like she remembers like that character being like some like strong and like resilient leader, and she's like, why the fuck is she being played by Kevin Hart? Yeah, no, it's the guy his name is Roland. He should have been played by somebody like Terry Crews or Idris Elba. He's this big, commanding presence the whole time he's in the series, and
Kevin Hart is anything but big.
I don't know. And he's
But
not serious. He does not have the commanding presence to pull off that kind of role. Which is like why we were talking about in the last one where we were talking about somebody who just cannot be believable in their roles. And that's a perfect example of it is Kevin Hart is a good actor. I like him in a lot of things. I've seen a lot of things I like from him. I've seen things I haven't liked from him. I think overall he is a good actor. He cannot play an action lead. And as much as Borderlands is supposed to be goofy and fun and like, you know, all that stuff, and yes, the characters goof around, that's why I think Terry Crews would be perfect. Because Terry Crews is a believable badass who can be funny. Idris Elba is a believable badass who can be funny. Kevin Hart is not a believable badass despite being hilarious. Like, I feel like that was just... I feel like whoever is making the Borderlands movie has no idea what they're doing.
Ding, 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 ding! You win the jackpot, buddy! And Avi Arad is one of the worst producers ever, okay? Like, he's responsible for majority of the Spider-Man shit, especially Venom and Let There Be Carnage. Oh my god, don't even get me started on that bullcrap. He did Uncharted.
Oh.
Yeah.
Who the hell cast that little twink as Nathan Drake? Who the hell casts a little twink as Nathan Drake?
Thank you for tuning.
Honestly,
Avi Arad.
If they were good, you know, it would have at least been a little bit better if they had to do something like that one. Make it like a coming of age thing where like half of it is like young Nathan Drake and then the later half is like adult Nathan Drake. I think Furiosa tried doing something like that.
There was a fan film Uncharted movie that came
out
a few years prior.
With Nathan Fillion.
That one. Oh my god.
And it was amazing.
Although I kept thinking it was Malcolm Reynolds from Firefly.
I mean, yeah, that basically is Nathan Drake. It's just without space. Because that's his whole thing. He's a space cowboy. He's a space adventurer. You know, so like I love that line in Castle. What are you supposed to be? I'm a space cowboy. Like
hold on a second. First off, thank you, Ruscio, for joining in. I'm glad you're here. And welcome MK6 Kev. I'm glad you joined. Thank you for
That's my buddy Kevin. Welcome in, dude.
Oh, hey. What's up,
Kev? Hope you're having a good one.
So, anyway. But yeah, I'm not looking. I don't give a fuck about Watch Dogs. I never have. I've been thinking about trying to give it a shot, just to play the game, just to see how it actually is. But
it had a lot of really good concepts. It reminds me of Cyberpunk. A lot of really good ideas with really poor execution.
Ooh, but now that, like, as we talked about a production starting up. Let's talk about a production that is subsequently canceled because of a problematic showrunner.
Yeah, you think? Jesus, when I heard that, I could not believe that. Because, like, this was supposed to be huge, right? This was supposed to be, like, a massive thing for Netflix making a video game adaptation that was supposed to be good.
I didn't even know they were making an adaptation of Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yep,
I heard from
it was supposed to be...
Grapevine.
It was supposed to be like the next big thing for like it was supposed to be the next Last of Us, basically, to kind of wash away the stain of that shall not be named. And to hear that he has abusive behavior on set is surprising because, like you have on your notes, the fact that he did Fargo and Umbrella Academy, which is wildly successful, it's surprising to find out that he would be a problem. You know. I mean, it's surprising. It's not surprising. I mean, like, we hear about this all the time that basically working in Hollywood, as much as it seems glamorous and fun being rich and famous, it sucks, dude. Like, it's a lot of work with very little, you know, it's a stressful environment. Like, I've done, in my past, I did a little bit of modeling, and I know it's not exactly the same thing, but to stand still and do the same thing 50,000 times while somebody yells at you to turn 1 degree, like, I mean, it's stressful, so I get it. I mean, it's a hard environment, and I only did that like a couple of times. I can't imagine doing it as a career for these guys. It's tough. Like, yeah, people think acting is easy. It's not. And running a show and writing stuff and directing, that stuff's not easy. You know, it takes a lot of work and it takes a lot of time to do stuff like that. But,
especially if you're trying to get a project as perfect as, say, Fargo or Avatar or whatever. You're gonna. It really sucks because, like, and honestly, in my opinion, I think it is a little too soon for there to be a live action Horizon because like it's a relatively new series if you really think about it. It
Oh
only
yeah,
sort
it's,
of
it's been
affected
around such a short
2017.
time.
Yeah, so I think they jumped the gun a little too quickly with Horizon, and now with
I'm
what's happening
surprised
with
why. I'm
yeah,
just surprised why.
it's
Am I surprised it got
unfortunate. It
canceled?
really
No, but
is.
like to find out that he's the problem was surprising. Like to find out that he was the one that was basically why they're canceling it. That was really surprising for me when I heard that.
The only thing I'm gonna say, and okay, I'm not defending it, but were the allegations actually like proven or something, or is it just like flying around or something? Because
It's
I
almost
personally
impossible to
don't.
prove stuff like this, dude. Like, I mean, it comes down to is it believable or not. If you have enough people saying it, you have to give it some credence. I mean,
Also, I need to get this out of the way regarding Horizon. Sony is so hell bent on not creating new shit, they just end up remastering old shit from 5 to 7 years ago. Hell,
Horizon
they
Zero
want
Dawn
to
still looks like a really damn good game even nowadays.
and they want to remake it or remaster it.
but honestly, it's not just Sony. We talked about this on the last podcast.
Yeah,
There's nothing coming. There's no movies coming out this year that are new. They're all sequels or remakes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it seems like Hollywood and the entertainment industry has kind of run out of ideas. It's all the same stuff reskinned.
It's come to a standstill. Unfortunately, it really has. I hate to say
I think all,
it.
yeah,
And
all the
sadly,
stories have been told.
and I have to agree with Steve. He mentioned this in the last episode that the biggest, the most original movie that I've seen this year was Boy Kills World. Like it's a ridiculously stupid, fun, goofy action movie,
Maybe.
and I highly recommend you check it out. It's exactly what
that.
you look forward to. You know,
I'm waiting for it to come onto my Plex account so I can watch it. I already as soon as he showed the trailer, I requested it for my Plex account.
it's so good. I actually ended up renting it. So me and my brother watched it pretty much the day after that episode. I was like, what the hell? What was Steven talking about? And like, okay, yeah, this is definitely worth it because like it's unlike anything you've ever seen. It's not a Marvel movie. It's not a DC movie. It's not a Godzilla movie. And I love Godzilla.
It's shenanigans.
It was just crazy. But
yeah. All right. But so none of us are optimistic about this, and none of us are surprised that this happened. Really, I mean, I'm surprised at the cause. I'm not surprised it happened.
yeah, and I am not. What we're about to talk about next, I'm also not really excited about talking about, to be honest with you. But at the same time, we might as well just get it out of the way. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Hey everybody, my name's Kerry Shawcross.
I'm Barbara Dunkelman.
And we have some exciting news for you today. I know a lot of you have been wondering what's going to happen with RWBY, and we finally have an answer. RWBY has found a new home with Viz Media.
Woo!
Just skip the video. It's so
I'm
cringy.
very excited,
Me too.
obviously, and I know you guys will all be very excited. What this means is Viz Media will be the home to the RWBY franchise. So that includes production, distribution, licensing, consumer products, and more.
As you can tell, we're very excited about this. This is a huge opportunity to grow our audience and expand into the future. In talking with Viz, they're also very excited about this. They obviously care about where the show is now, but they also care about where it came from, and they want to make sure that we can continue this story.
We are currently in talks with them about RWBY's future, and we are very hopeful for what's to come for this beloved series. So excited to work with Viz Media and to see what's next for RWBY.
For more information on this and all things RWBY going forward, you can go to Viz's official blog post at viz.com/RWBY. That's the RWBY one, not the RUBY one.
You guys should know that by now.
Yeah.
Viz will be posting more information on all things RWBY, so stay tuned for updates.
And thank you so much for supporting us over the years. It's what's gotten us here, and it's what's going to continue to propel RWBY into the future. So thank you all so much, and we look forward to seeing you soon.
okay. Here's my response. That's my response. Okay, you guys buried one of the best series there has ever been out of an American studio. It was so good and so big. You had a goddamn billboard in Times Square for Genlock because of how big RWBY was. You guys had a fan page on Facebook that had more followers than some countries have people. Like, you had the potential to be one of the greatest things. Literally, Raj, you and I met for a RWBY screening. I met my wife because we were both RWBY cosplayers. RWBY used to be one of the greatest things out there that they destroyed in the name of being woke and they destroyed in the name of ships, right? I don't care what your political ideas were. They took a show about fighting, action, and awesome ideas and made it all about people and their interpersonal bullshit. I didn't watch RWBY to watch a slice of life. I watched RWBY to watch a show. You know, and I'm sorry, like honestly, if the best thing that could happen at this point, right, is for them to just fire everyone and start over.
Yeah, I actually saw quite a lot of comments essentially saying they should really just get rid of RWBY and essentially just start over or something.
They really should. And like look at how good it is for like look at we talked about it once before and we'll get to it again later in the stream is Has Been Hotel. When Vivian Mandrino, huh? Vivzy Pop, when she sold it to A24 came in and they're like, yeah, we're basically taking everything you've done. We like the idea, we like the basis that you've built. We're gonna take it, we're gonna wipe half of it away and make it better, right? For the love of God, Viz Media, for the love of God, keep who you need to, get rid of everyone else, and just start it over back at what it was. Give Money's Dream a chance to be what it should have been.
Actually, sorry if it's been a while since I checked, but what are your thoughts on Has Been Hotel or Hell of a Boss, Ethan?
We're gonna
I
get to
haven't
that in a
seen
bit,
it.
so we'll get there.
Yeah, speaking, actually, you know what? Let's talk about that right now because just recently, well, I didn't get to go, but our good buddy Captain Nemo, he was actually at a KaiCon this past weekend.
Nice.
And unfortunately, he felt out of place because it was all Has Been Hotel cosplayers. Which
So yes,
I can't really.
Has Been is the flavor of the week for cosplay.
It really is,
Like,
and
yeah.
there's a reason for why. Because, like, for one, it's well received for a reason. Like, it's like the writing and everything.
So I'm just to give you guys an idea. Like, I'm gonna bring it up on my phone. I don't know how well it's gonna translate onto the screen, but just to give you guys an idea, like Steve, you were just asking how I feel about it. Literally just went to a con with my wife back in February where, I mean, she's in cosplay, just so you guys get a heads up. She's going to hop on the stream in a second. But we met Vivian. You know, like, we went and met her. We're big fans of the series. It's the flavor of the week for cosplay.
Yo,
And this is a great transition.
Bring it back up so we can all see.
This is a great transition into the conversation we were about to get into later about Has Been cosplay. So I'm going to have my wife jump in a second. But, like, yeah, we went... Oh, sorry, I was bringing it up, Raj. So we went and we met Vivzy. She was super cool.
Nice.
We met her briefly. Briefly met Brandon Rogers, who's the voice of Blitzo. Met Richard Horvitz, who is the voice of Moxie.
Also, Billy from Billy and Mandy and Invader Zim.
Yeah, and one of the Angry Beavers, and he was like in everything in the 90s. So here, I'm going to have my wife hop in because there was some, speaking of Has Been cosplay, there was some drama coming out of France recently, so I'm going to have her jump in for 1 second.
Wait, did you actually tell us about like that one, the blackface cosplay, or was that something else?
That was last week.
No, that was in Boston. This is a new one.
Oh boy. If you hear any noises, I'm just kind of tidying around my room and stuff.
That's fine.
Hi, guys.
Hey, Casey.
Hi. Okay, so Has Been drama. I don't know the entire full story of it. I've only seen like bits and pieces of it going off Twitter. But apparently there was like these French cosplayers who were at a con, and basically Has Been cosplayers, they get a lot of hate. I guess depending on who they cosplay, and I guess just being in the fandom in general. Because I've seen it a lot in, especially with Valentino cosplayers and Adam cosplayers. Yeah, like people will like go around and bully them and things like that, thinking that they are the actual characters. So what happened in France was that these cosplayers were basically getting harassed, and I've heard that people were dropping like, you know, those little blood packets, you know, like those little blood capsules, you know, like Hollywood style type thing. They would drop them in their cosplay so that they would get removed when they get put in the wash. That's just terrible. Like, you don't know like how long that they've worked on cosplay. You don't know if they bought it. You don't know if they made it themselves. And like for someone to do that, that's just horrible. Please don't bully people.
It's unfortunately way too common in the cosplay world.
It is. So I don't know, like, I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, I've seen both sides of the fandom, the good and the bad. especially on Twitter. Twitter's just a mess. Or X, I guess I should say.
You mean X?
X.
Honestly, regardless of who's in charge here or something, Twitter is always just gonna be shit.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, like I've seen good and bad from the fandom, but like I don't really understand why the has-been fandom specifically gets a whole lot of hate.
It's everybody.
It is.
Let me go back.
All right, that's all I have to say. Please don't bully people.
Okay.
Exactly. Don't be.
Sorry. So actually, I wanna actually talk about the cosplay thing real fast. Because she was just saying about how sorry, I had to adjust my chair. How it feels like Wire has been cosplayers getting crap right now, and it really feels like there's a trend in cosplay where people do trend following. Like if you look at it, and Raj and Steve, you guys can both attest to this. Back about 7-8 years ago, RWBY was the flavor of the week, and everybody was cosplaying from RWBY. Then it was My Hero Academia. Then it was Jujutsu Kaisen, and there's just always a flavor of the week that people cosplay from. And unfortunately, cosplay does attract some of the cringiest of anime and nerd culture, and so there's always going to be some kind of negative connotation with whatever's popular. And unfortunately, right now it's has-been, and has-been also kind of lends itself to a bad reputation because of the subject matter. There's sexual assault, there's drug use, there's violence, so it's not all that surprising that can happen, you know? So as much as it sucks, and like Casey's right, you shouldn't be bullying people just for their cosplay, I don't feel like it's a has-been exclusive thing, and I don't feel like it is a... I don't feel like it's just centric on them. I think it is just an unfortunate... One of the worst sides of the cosplay community is there's a lot of toxicity in it, you know, and it's unfortunate.
And this is partly the reason why, in my opinion. And by the way, in case you're wondering where the hell am I right now, something went off with my webcam. I don't know what the hell happened. It just stopped working all of a sudden. So you're gonna have to just listen to my annoyingly lovely voice. Anyway, so
I get to be the star.
You get to be the star today. But yeah, I will say this. It is basically the main, in my opinion, this is why RWBY fell off. Yes, we got the woke bullshit, the ships, and like it's the ships, the cosplay community.
It's the fandom.
It's the fandom that essentially ruined
the Bumblebee thing, which was like, for example, Bumblebee, like it was just kind of like a fun little thing at first, and then they just dove head first into to the point where it just became fucking unbearable and cringe.
And congratulations, congratulations, Bumblebee! You're finally canon. Are you happy? You sacrificed the story,
the quality of the show. For one relationship. Did you guys see, this was the big thing, I'll see if I can find the video and send it to you so we can show it next time. There was an underage cosplayer at a convention who asked one of the voice actors, was it Deku or Bakugo?
Oh my god, I know what you're talking about. This annoyed the hell out of me. Yeah, so...
And the thing is, it's already been answered numerous times. It's been answered from the show creator. They're straight. They're not in a relationship. Leave it alone. There is LGBTQ representation in My Hero. That's not it, right? And then they keep harassing the voice actors. Oh, what do you think about this shit? What do you think about
that shit? You know your fandom, right?
Yeah.
I couldn't... I literally needed to take 7 different types of medication just to...
Jeez, okay, and I thought the Tokyo Ghoul fandom were psychos.
That's why I said, unfortunately... Like that, oh my God. I think, unfortunately, the cosplay community does tend to attract some of the cringier side of the anime and nerd culture. I feel like, unfortunately, cosplay, having become as mainstream as it is, has gotten to, like, there's always been, like, dude, I've been cosplaying for 18 years at this point, right? And I can say, like, even when I used to go to cons when I was young and I was a teenager, right? There's always been creepy guys, there's always been cringy guys, there's always been weird guys. But we're all weird. That's why we're at a con and we're dressed up like an anime character. We're all weird. It was what it was. But I feel like lately, like you said, the fandoms are what are destroying the franchises. Like, fandoms are so focused on getting what they want, they're not just enjoying what's given to them. Like, we used to enjoy the show and, like, hey, you didn't always like everything. Like, you didn't always get everything that you wanted. Like, for perfect example, what the series that got me into anime is a series called G Gundam. It's not one of the most popular Gundam series, but it was the first anime that I watched, and I got super into it, and it was by far my favorite of all the Gundam series because it was what
Was it like
got me
on
into
Toonami
anime.
or was it something else?
Yes, it was. It was on Toonami. I had said since I was young, and even to this day, I still say I don't like who the main character ends up with in the end. I get why they did it, but that didn't ruin the series for me. I wasn't pissed off and angry that I didn't get the ship that I wanted. You know, like we used to be able to consume entertainment without being pissed off we didn't get exactly what we wanted. You know, like let people be creative. Let the writer write the story that they want to tell. If you want a different story, write your own story. Yeah, that's what fan fiction's for. Or write your own story. I mean, I think I don't know about Steve, but I know both Raj and myself are writers. We write our own stories. If you have a story to tell and you feel like you have this great story to tell, put it on paper. Let us all see it. And that's not a challenge. That's me saying, hey, get your creativity out. A lot of people have a lot of really, really good ideas. But rather than pushing your ideas onto these creators, make your own. Do your thing. Put it out there. You know, let's get more creativity going and a little bit more of a wholesome, supportive environment rather than a demanding environment. That's what I would like to see.
Yeah, Captain Emo himself is also a writer. He's working on his own Star Wars, if you will. I'm not going to say what he's actually working on, but okay, here's what I have to say about it. I 100% agree. Like, if you are a fan of whatever, you could be a fan of Sesame Street for all I care. Okay, let the writers, the guys that are tasked to write the show. You're not the writer. Just sit down, shut up, grab your popcorn or soda, and just enjoy the content. You can,
except if it's
Lucasfilms. Move on. If you don't enjoy it, move on. You don't have to enjoy everything.
Lucasfilms is on a. You know what? We're not talking about Lucasfilms right now, but you get it. But
I feel like people are too focused on. Oh, everybody. You know, it has to have something for everybody. Everybody has. You can't please everyone. So write the best story you can. It's your crowd.
You freaking can't. Just focus on if for any aspiring writers out there, including myself, right? Just focus on you. Everybody else will follow suit. Just work on what you think is perfect, and if everybody hates it, whatever. If everybody likes it, also whatever. It's all a matter of subjective opinion, but you should just focus on. You should just focus on what makes your writing you, not what everybody else tells you what it is. I mean, yes,
agree.
you should take criticism. You should take feedback of like what can you do to improve on your writing. Yes.
And perfect example, Raj, you and I do that for each other. We send each other works that we're working on because, like I said, we both write, and we send each other our work. And we're like, hey, give me some feedback. We don't take every single thing that the other person says, but we take it, we learn from it, and we adapt it to write what we write. You know, but that's the important thing is you're not going to take everything I say and change everything you write. I'm not going to take everything you say and change everything I write because, you know, it's my story and I want to make it the best I can. That's why I ask for feedback, but I'm going to write my story. And this is just how it should be. Be supportive of each other.
And this is why I personally like another reason why RWBY fell off is because, like, for one, this show was cursed the minute I can't believe I'm saying this, but hear me out. Don't come at me, but hear me out for a moment, okay? RWBY was going to suffer as soon as Monty passed. And because Monty had an entire skeleton. 100%. He had an entire skeleton of content, right? And I had no doubt that the writers, Kerry Shawcross and Miles, were trying to follow what Monty had been working on for years. I have every belief that they had every intention to do that. But at the same time, they should stop to wonder.
So here's the thing.
Go ahead.
RWBY is going the way of Star Wars, right? You have people who are fans, but don't know what George Lucas's original idea was for the expanded universe, and they're writing their own version of it, and it's not as good. And the reason it's not as good is because they're fans. They're not the person who created it. They don't know the intricacies behind, and so they're kind of not, you know, they're not building the world the way people expect it to be built because they're not built. It doesn't work. And so RWBY, I feel like it was the same thing. As much as Carrie and Miles have been writers since day one, and they have been, they've both been involved. Monty was everything to that. It was all his brainchild. It was his overarching story. He had all the plans. He had all the stuff together. And as soon as he passed, there's a lot of argument and debate whether it's real or not. But there was one person who was working at RWBY who basically said he had this whole journal and plan that was put in that they basically threw out. I don't know if that's true or not. It's been heavily debated online. But, I mean, it's hard to know. If there was a journal and it was thrown out, I mean, boo on Rooster Teeth for doing that. You deserve to get shut down. If it wasn't, and if there was no journal, what are they supposed to do? All they can do is like, hey, we had an idea where he was going with this, and we're going to do the best we can. And they did the best they could. I don't agree with every choice. You know, I stopped.
Honestly, you know what's another thing that I think was kind of a similar thing to this one, and I know it sounds a little bit weird, but hear me out. And you know what? I might even go into theme parks a little bit for this one. When Walt Disney passed away, like he had a lot of other ideas going on, but unfortunately he passed away in 1966 because I think it was maybe like a smoke problem or something or complications with it. And basically what happened was Disney was honestly left without like a leader, so they kept trying to figure out like what would Walt Disney do, and for the longest time, at least until maybe like the late 80s, early 90s when the Disney Renaissance started, they were kept trying to figure out like what would he do or something. And for the longest time, it was essentially called the original Dark Ages, and a lot of films that they made weren't really quite up to the standards that of the older films when he was still alive.
The answer was Hans Christian Andersen. The answer was Hans Christian Andersen. That was the answer.
Yep, pretty much.
And Shakespeare. Just rip off dead writers.
Yeah.
Just rip off dead writers. But anyway, so I think we beat this one to death. We should just move on.
We kind of were on this one.
For those that are still interested in this show, like that are truly passionate, I know there
enjoy it if you enjoy it.
Yeah. So here's the information that has been laid out. As mentioned, Viz Media is continuing with Rooster Teeth started after the shutdown. And they were indeed responsible for numerous RWBY merch in the past, such as mangas and whatnot. And to be fair, the mangas were okay. They're fine. Okay. The official X account, I cannot believe I'm saying it, the official X account and Facebook accounts will remain active, as well as the Japan X account. Kerry Shawcross is still the series showrunner and will continue to develop the show further. That's fine. Volumes 1 through 9 will be available on wider distribution, including home video releases. It doesn't really matter to me.
Wider distribution. I hate that term, wider distribution, because I feel like Rooster Teeth did an amazing job with their distribution campaigns. The fact that you could walk into any FYE and they had Rooster Teeth shit everywhere. Yeah. You could walk in any Target. You could walk into any store. I feel like Rooster Teeth did a damn good job getting their shit into stores. So as much as wider distribution, what are you going to stream it directly into my brain?
Oh my god, I just realized something. As soon as the original series comes back, every single bit of branding for RWBY will be like, instead of Rooster Teeth Presents, it's Viz Media Presents. Oh my god.
Dude, bring back RWBY Chibi. Bring back RWBY Chibi.
Yes! Bring that shit back, man. I missed that shit.
I think even Joe Apacos kind of said in his RWBY video how essentially the Chibi version was like the better use of the characters.
Oh yeah,
I agree. I agree.
Chibi. Okay, so I'm gonna rank my top 5 seasons. All right,
okay.
You got
also my nefarious plans.
You've got season 2, which I think is just goated. I think season 2 is goated. It's where we got the most lore and action and everything. I think season 2. Also the food fight. Come on.
Yep.
Then you got Chibi season 1, Chibi season 2, season 3, season 1. That's my ranking of top 5 seasons. I feel like fair. Chibi was amazing. Like some of the meta jokes in there, some of the fantastic stuff, like the freaking Overwatch like one-liner, the one shot, one pill. You know, like there's so many meta jokes in there that are just fantastic. So like I feel like Chibi was amazing, and I would love to see more Chibi. But
I do appreciate Wiz for actually coming forward and actually, like, they actually announced it because apparently they made an appearance at Anime Expo this past week, and so kudos to them. At least they were doing something. Like, they finally, like, they were being transparent. Like, hey, we're still continuing the series. We're trying our best here. Volume 10 might happen. Let's see what happens, I guess. Unlike another fucking studio that isn't doing jack shit for Sonic fans. Where
Yeah,
is this fucking trailer? Where is this goddamn trailer?
Especially when
like,
it's supposed to be coming out in like 5 months.
Yeah, like Captain Nemo himself, he's probably the biggest. I haven't seen a bigger Sonic fan than Captain Nemo Gaming. All right, he's currently he was streaming Sonic Frontiers last I checked, and he's gonna do some more Sonic streams in the near future, just to at least bring in some form of Sonic content this year. Because according to him, this was supposed to be the year of Shadow. Yet, where is he? What's going on? Why do we have to wait? Like, they had multiple opportunities to at least give us a teaser, not the stupid title announcement teaser. No, an actual teaser featuring actual Shadow, voiced by Keanu Reeves. Where is this trailer? They could have showed something during the release of If a couple months ago, or was that last month? You know what I'm saying, right? Like,
Whatever it was. Yeah.
Oh god, it's really freaking annoying. And you know what's even crazier? Captain Nemo also mentioned the latest Beverly Hills Cop movie, Axel F. It's on Netflix. It's doing really, really well. I haven't seen it yet. Apparently, Netflix is the one that distributed that movie, not Paramount. And Paramount for years handled Beverly Hills Cop. So, they stopped doing. They were working on it for the last 20 years, and yeah, they delivered. Netflix did what Paramount has failed to do for both Sonic and I guess Beverly Hills Cop. I guess so. It's really
Again, it's kind of the same thing like Ubisoft. They don't care. They just want to make money. So if they think it's going to make them money, they're going to do it.
if they want to make money, give us the fucking trailer. That's all you got. I sound like Nicolas Cage from Vampire's Kiss.
I don't even know anymore because look at how bad Hollywood's done in the last 4 years. You know, like Hollywood's been losing money. A lot of movies. Like,
Last year was a joke.
I'm not paying to go see.
Last year was
Deadpool.
a joke.
Yeah.
The amount of flops that occurred in 2023 alone, someone should dedicate a museum of those movies because my God,
it's crazy, and it's not. I don't even feel like it's the studio's faults. They're putting out adequate films. They're putting out adequate movies. The problem is, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's the movie theaters. The movie theaters, they just don't make anything. And you make the money that you made off of movie theaters off streaming. Because basically, from what I understand, and I may be wrong about this, streaming services pay a flat fee across the board to have it on their streaming service, right? Whereas, like, if you went to a box office, it's based off ticket sales, right?
Yeah.
And the problem is, a lot of people are starting to pirate again because of how expensive movies and streaming have gotten. People are going back to pirating. Which, I mean, I'm not going to go here or there, right? And I'm not going to get into the here or there of pirating, but it's just ridiculous. Like, I've got a wife and 2 kids, 3 when my son's in town. So if I want to go see a movie, it's going to cost me $100 in tickets. That's crazy. That doesn't include drinks, snacks, anything else, right? So for me, the reason I stopped, and I stopped a long time ago, I have not seen a movie in the theater since Frozen 2. And before that was the last Resident Evil. I have seen 2 movies in the theater in the last 7 years.
That is really sad. That is
it's
so
gotten
sad,
too expensive. It's gotten too expensive.
It has.
I can wait till it comes out on Blu-ray, buy it on Blu-ray, and if I hate it, throw it away, and it'll still cost me a fraction of the cost of going and seeing it.
And what makes it even more ridiculous, I'm glad that you're mentioning this because like it's one of the biggest reasons why Hollywood in general has been flopping as of late is because like they're like almost every fucking weekend, needs to have a blockbuster. Think about that for a second. Okay?
Used to be the same thing in video games. We used to have a new video game come out every week. Now we have like 1 or 2 a month.
It's ridiculous. Like last March, hell, this March alone, we had weekend upon weekend of a blockbuster movie after a blockbuster movie. Like, guys, give us a freaking break. Not every fucking weekend needs to have a blockbuster. Last month, June, Yes, sure, we got Inside Out 2, but nobody saw that. Nobody saw Inside Out 2. I heard it's good, but nobody saw it because people are tired of watching the same shit over and over. Like, sometimes I want to just, I want to be challenged. When I watch a movie, I want to be challenged sometimes. I don't want to, cool. I want to be challenged when I watch a movie. I want to think about what the hell I'm watching instead of, like, just like mindless entertainment. Look, there's nothing against mindless entertainment. I enjoy that shit. Godzilla x Kong.
No,
New
sometimes
Empire,
you want brain rot.
it was the stupidest movie I've ever seen, and yet I enjoyed it. I absolutely dug that shit. But sometimes, not all the time, I would like to. I'd like to have a medium rare steak with mashed potatoes and a side of vegetables, as opposed to the standard fast food crap.
Some days you want McDonald's. Yeah. Some days you want McDonald's. Some days you want ribeye.
Yeah.
And honestly, sometimes you need brain rot. Like the movie Argyle. I don't know if you guys saw it. It is terrible.
Oh God.
Like it is terrible. I think we talked about it a bit in the last stream. It is terrible, but it's entertaining. The acting's good. The cinematography is really good. Terrible movie, great brain rot. Old school Mel Brooks movies. They're stupid as hell. Great brain rot. Sometimes you want that. Sometimes you want stupid fun.
Here's a movie. Oh crap! I cannot even have my freaking webcam on. Like the best movie I saw this year that actually legit wasn't brain rot. That was it's based off a book, obviously, but it's one of the most well-respected novels ever. Dune Part 2. Holy shit! I still fucking love that movie, but here's a movie that I don't think a lot of people are talking about. Like, a lot of people say that Ryan Reynolds is basically typecast at this point. He's playing the same goddamn role since 2016, right? We can all agree with that, right?
Dude, he's played the same two roles since the early 2000s: frat boy, party boy, or
Deadpool.
goofy, lovable idiot. That's it.
Okay. Have you seen Buried?
Yes. I feel like he did the best he could. Again, we're talking about, is he believable in the role? I did not get a sense of suspense from him. I could not get past. I could not get past Ryan Reynolds being Ryan Reynolds. I kept waiting for him to crack a joke the whole time.
He didn't.
Like, as crappy as that is, again, you're talking about typecast. You're right. I was waiting for him to crack a joke the whole time.
But hold on.
Like, if you see Sean Connery in something, you think, if you saw Sean Connery in a movie, you're gonna assume he's gonna be Sean Connery. If you saw Sean Connery in a comedy, you'd be like, what the hell?
Dumb. Yeah, Captain Emo says that Beverly Hills Cop had taken the top spot due to Star Wars Acolyte and lack of Sonic 3, at least for him. Well, yeah, that's
fair.
A sad reality. Like,
apparently, the last episode of Acolyte was pretty good. Everybody's been bashing that show pretty hard, but apparently, the last episode was getting good reviews.
Okay, but I remember there was a time pre-MCU where going to these movies, an MCU, DC, whatever, it legit felt like an event. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Like, I remember The Dark Knight? Holy shit, I still remember that fondly.
Do you remember the old Star Wars movies? You remember the old Star Wars movies where everybody got dressed up in cloaks and had their lightsabers and were just having fun? Like, dude, old movies used to be an event. So, hopefully we get something on Sonic soon, especially since it's supposed to come out in like 5 months. Hopefully we get an update on it soon, because they got to do something. I mean,
they got it. They really.
I have a feeling at this point it's going to get pushed. If we don't have a trailer by September, it's probably getting pushed.
Yeah, me
Most
too,
likely.
Cap. Me too. I at least delay it, if anything. But anyway,
Yeah.
I know you wanted to talk about this. You mentioned this the other day, but I'll let you take the stage for this one. Here you go.
Ooh, yes. Okay,
Hold on, let me put you on solo for a moment. There you go.
I think everybody has realized by this point of the 2 podcasts I've been on, I am a huge weeb, massively into anime. Big fan of just anime, cosplay, all that stuff. The Demon Slayer ending, it's crazy. I saw a report about this the other day. It's one of the first anime episodes in recent history to have a near flawless review on IMDb. I don't know if it still is right now, but for about 2 or 3 days, right? Oh, what happened? Oh, hello, I'm back. Okay, for the first 2 or 3 days after its release, it was at 9.9 reviewed on IMDb. Now, a lot of people say that Demon Slayer especially is carried by the animation, and I will agree with that. The story is good. It's not great, but it's some of the most aesthetically pleasing and beautiful anime that we've had in the last 10 years. There's a few people that have been complaining, saying that it's going to be looked bad. It's not going to age well. But for those of you guys who have seen it, or for anybody who's an anime fan, the most recent episode of Demon Slayer ending up this season, if you get a chance, it is one of the best, most substantive, I can't speak. It has great substance. If my mouth can work. It is for story, for everything. It is a 25-minute long episode. The first 15 minutes is
Captain Nemo is asking, is it dubbed yet?
No. Is lore, is all sorts of stuff. The action just everything about it. I think Ufotable and the voice actors and everything just went way up above and beyond. I'm really excited. They're talking about breaking up the Infinity Castle arc, which is how the story ends. They're talking about breaking it up into a few pieces and possibly making movies. It's crazy. Within the next few years, we're going to have ending of some really, really big animes coming up. Like Demon Slayer is going to end probably in the next year or two. My Hero Academia, maybe 2 years, and it's done. We're actually wrapping up a couple really, really big stories, so it's going to be interesting to see what's going to come out in the next few years for anime. I mean, maybe RWBY can take that spot. Maybe there's a couple other things that can take that spot. But for anybody who's an anime fan out there and hasn't gotten a chance to yet, go check out the season finale, or really this whole season. It's a little more slow paced than the previous ones. It is very much. It's called the Hashira training arc, and it really is.
Yeah, he mentioned that the Hashira arc. Yeah.
Yeah, it's more about world building and about exposition than
which
action.
I love, which I appreciate. Go ahead.
But it also doesn't do it in the Cardinal Sin way. It's not just walking and talking. Like, they show it. We build more. We find out more about the characters. We find out a bit more about the history. There's some great interactions between the main characters and side characters. It is just really, really well done. And the finale is on par with the Tengen fight from 2 seasons ago, because holy crap, the Tengen fight was just on a whole other level. For anybody who's a Demon Slayer fan out there, you know exactly what I'm talking about. That Tengen fight was chef's kiss. It's up there. I'm really, really excited, and yeah, if you guys get a chance, go check it out, because it is really good, and I'm really excited to see what they do with the Infinity Castle arc now that they are wrapping it up. And also My Hero, now that we are at the final fight between All for One and the students and everybody. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting, and I'm really excited for anime throughout 2024 and 2025. I feel like we are going to get some of the best stuff that we've had to look forward to for the last few years, with these stories kind of reaching their climax and their ending. Ufotable has done an amazing job with animation so far with Demon Slayer. I am really excited to see what they're going to do with the final battles and that. And same thing with My Hero. Like, My Hero has done a great job for battles. If you get a chance, the second movie that they made where Bakugo and Deku fight 9 was just some of the most amazing animation out there for a fight. So we've had some peak animation lately. And I'm really excited. So for you guys who are anime fans out there, go check it out.
Yeah, I think I saw that movie, and I swear to God, like the final battle, especially since there was like no sound, only the music. I think that my eyes were like the biggest that they ever were and stuff. Like, holy shit!
Oh, and the way they did the animation between Bakugo and Deku working together to fight 9, and like 9 giving it his all, and just like you said, the way they did the audio, how there wasn't like a whole lot of background noise. It was just that really, ominous overtone music. Just, there's been some really peak anime in the last 2 years, and I'm really excited to see what we're getting in the next 2, because holy shit, we're wrapping up some huge stories here in the anime world, and it looks like we're going to get some badass shit. Also, Has Been Hotel season 2 has been confirmed, obviously, since it did so well on Prime. And we've already gotten confirmed that the V's are going to be the main villain of season 2, which I know a lot of people are looking forward to more Vox and Val and Velvet. So we've got a lot coming up in 2024 and 2025 from the anime world, and guys, we have a lot to look forward to.
Well, here's hoping that they live up to that, because 2025 is already shaping up to be a pretty stacked freaking year from video games, movies, and anime.
Oh, yeah.
So thank heavens that's the case, because this year has been a joke. Let's be real.
Well, for the anime world, like I said, for anime world, we've gotten some really, really good stuff coming out this year. We've had some, I haven't gotten a chance to watch it yet. It's on my list, although it's gotten stellar reviews. It's Kaiju number 8. We had the 3rd season of Konosuba, which was fantastic, which we've all been waiting for what, 7 years at this point, 8 years for season 3 of that, and it was awesome. They did a great job. So, we've had some peak tier anime this year. I know Hollywood has been doing great, and I know video games have been a little iffy, but the anime community entertainment industry has not let us down this year, and I hope
at
they keep
least
it
I
going
have
strong.
my anime.
I have the power of God and anime on my side.
Speaking of anime, Shadow is got to have a 3-part anime to help hype up Sonic X Shadow Generations. It has to, yeah. Okay. So, by the way, he wanted to know when will there be a dub for the Hashira arc for Demon Slayer?
So it really comes down to Crunchyroll, because usually what happens is it's usually 2 to 3 weeks behind. I'd have to look and see right now, and I think it's just because when they do it, they automatically do it in the subtitle. It's automatically done first in Japanese, and then they bring it over here, and then they have to get the voice actors into the booth to record everything. It's got to get mastered. It's got to get put in, make sure everything matches up. So it's definitely a process. From what I've seen, it's usually 2 to 3 weeks behind, but it can take up to an entire season. Longest I've seen was we didn't have a dub until 2 weeks after the season ended, and then they dubbed everything at once. So I would say just keep an eye on it if you have Crunchyroll or whatever you might have. If you have it, check on it. They'll blatantly say on it if it's a dub or if it's available in both. I would say just keep checking on it every Wednesday or Thursday, I think, because if I'm not mistaken, I believe Demon Slayer was a Tuesday update. I know they do random days. I don't know what it is. I'd say just middle of the week, check it each week and see what's sub or dub. But Demon Slayer is definitely Demon Slayer is one of the few anime I prefer dubbed, and the only reason is Inosuke. The voice actor for Inosuke, I believe his name is Bryce Penbrook. Happenbrook. It's Bryce. He is fantastic, and his portrayal of Inosuke carries the dub. His portrayal of Inosuke carries the dub, and it's fantastic.
Yeah, Captain Nemo actually met him.
Really? I'm jealous.
Yeah.
I want to. He's honestly, he's one of my favorites. I have some of the I have 4 of the pop from Demon Slayer. I have Enyu, Rui, Nezuko, and Inosuke. Inosuke definitely, the voice acting in English is better in my opinion for Inosuke. I think everybody else is kind of comparable, and so because of that, I prefer the dub. It's one of maybe 3 or 4 animes I prefer dub over sub, and
Cowboy Bebop.
He carries that sub.
What?
Sub all day, dude. So no, so the other ones I can say 100% for dub are G Gundam, because that's how I originally watched it, and it just feels weird to me watching it in subtitle.
Okay.
And then I don't know if any of you guys have ever heard of Is This a Zombie? So really, really cringy, fan servicey, ridiculous series. But in English, they just steer so hard into the fan service and the jokes that they just take it way a cut above than the subtitles. So it adds a whole level of ridiculousness and humor to it. And if any of you guys have ever heard of from the 90s, I've shown Casey clips from it. If any of you guys have ever heard of Ghost Stories,
oh my god! I think I saw some clips of it. I'm like, what the hell?
It's some of the funniest shit you've ever seen. Because basically, from what I understand, and mind you, I wasn't there, But basically, when the studio first started doing this in English, they had no kind of like oversight or restriction. So they just kept pushing the envelope to see what they could get away with, and nobody ever stopped them. So, like, it's just the most ridiculous crap you'll ever see. If you get a chance, just look up Ghost Story animes, funny moments on like YouTube and stuff. It is offensive as all hell, but it's some of the funniest stuff I've ever seen out of an anime.
And by the way, Ethan, one
Oh,
anime I
really?
should
You have?
one
Oh, okay.
honestly, Ethan, one anime you should definitely check out. It doesn't matter if it's sub or dub. We'll just watch this thing, regardless. And it's okay. It kind of depends. Sometimes it's OVA and there's like a movie version, but just doesn't matter. Just watch this. Macross Plus. Seriously, watch it. It is one of the best anime I've ever seen in my life. And funny enough, and fun fact for the at least the dub version, at least on the OVA, get this, Bryan Cranston from Breaking Bad was in it.
Dude, there's been some major people in some anime. Like, if you guys ever look at like Studio Ghibli, however, I don't know how.
Yep.
You had Mark Hamill, you had Liam Neeson, you had Christian Bale. You've had
Keith
some
David.
massive name actors. Yeah.
Yeah, you had Keith David in Princess Mononoke.
He was in Mononoke?
Yeah, you know that giant giant boar spirit or something? That was him.
Really?
Yep.
Apparently he's the giant boar spirit. I didn't realize that. Oh, speaking of random Keith David lines that you don't realize are Keith David, do you guys know he had a one-off line in the 1997 Hercules Disney movie?
Really?
Oh, yeah, he was Apollo.
He literally has one line. He has, Apollo. At the very end,
that man
says,
surprises me over the minute.
For the mighty Hercules, and that's his entire thing.
That man isn't
like literally. He's
everything
like,
I've
three
seen.
cheers.
I think he actually does play him in the animated series. Yeah, there was a TV show of Hercules in like the 90s, like Aladdin.
Dude. Like,
anyway.
if you guys ever want to do a full-on anime episode, I can carry that for days. I love anime. Anyway, next.
All right, so now that all that is taken care of, I can actually go on to more of the future for Crimson Arts. Oh, jeez, what the heck? So as you know, this past week I was essentially offline. For one, I just gotten switched over to the morning shift at my personal job, so I had to spend a week away just to get used to the new schedule and whatnot. You know how it is. But it also allowed me to come up with a much more refined schedule. I am not happy about this look. Jeez, this looks horrible. Yeah, I'll just keep it like that for now. So, yeah, personal work-life dynamic has changed, hence why there was 1 week of no content last week. And in case you haven't noticed on Twitch especially, I changed the name from Crimson Arts Gaming to just simply Crimson Arts Studios, because I do plan in the near future to do more than just gaming on the channel. I mean, yeah, gaming is still going to be a major contribution to the channel, but there will be some other stuff happening. Like after all, we're doing the podcast, for crying out loud. I mean, we're talking more than just video games. We're doing, we've gone through all of it today. Movies, TV shows, anime, etc. So that's why I changed it from Crimson Arts Crimson Arts Gaming to Crimson Arts Studios. So Monday to Friday I will be streaming in the evenings going forward. From hell?
That was weird.
Can you hear me?
Still there? Yeah, you're back.
Yeah, that was really, really weird. Yeah, so where the hell was I? Yeah, Monday to Friday we'll be streaming around the evenings from 6 to 8:30 Eastern Standard. But it's only going to be this month alone because I got some other stuff going on. I really can't wait for August, because after August, it will be from 5:30 to 8:30. Trust me, I wanted to be at 5:30 to 8:30 as much as possible, but because of the personal stuff happening in my life right now, I have to keep it from 6:30 to 8:30. Maybe like the last week of July, it'll be from 5:30 to 8:30. But that's for we'll have to wait and see how that goes. So in terms of the games I'll be covering going forward, Mondays and Tuesdays will be Metal Gear. Wednesday will be Halo, heroic Halo. I'm just gonna stick with heroic difficulty right now because I want to get through these games as much as possible. And Thursday, Friday will be that of Gears of War. That's just what the lineup looks like. Content will change depending on the months. Like October will be horror themed, or December will be holiday themed, if possible. After Metal Gear, Tomb Raider will take its place because we're getting a Tomb Raider anime on Netflix, and it's supposed to follow the follow the games, the Crystal Dynamics games. So, and I'm gonna have to take a break once the first volume of the Metal Gear Solid Master Collection is complete. Then because they're splitting the collection into two, where Volume 1 features the first three Metal Gear games, including Metal Gears 1 and 2 Solid Snake, MGS4, 5, Peace Walker, Portable Ops. That has not come to me yet. So whenever they announce it, whenever they release it, that's when I'll get back into Metal Gear. So we'll take like a little bit of a break in once I'm done with the collection, if that makes any sense. After Halo, I am planning to bring back RoboCop. Yeah, like that's how we started this channel, by playing a bunch of RoboCop on Steve's PC way back in the day. So yeah, I have every intention of bringing RoboCop back on the channel. And after Gears of War will finally be Red Dead Redemption. That has been a long time coming, to be honest with you. I wanted to get back to that as much as possible. Sundays will continue to be the podcast. Well, unfortunately, not every Sunday because, like I said, I got a personal endeavor to take care of on the what day is that? On the 20. God damn it. On the 28th, Sunday the 28th of this month, that's when we're not going to have a standard episode, but I hope to do something for you all on that day itself. But unfortunately, there's not going to be a podcast episode on that day. That's the unfortunate truth. But and Movie Versus is also going to be making a comeback soon. I do actually intend to make Movie Versus part of the podcast, so maybe one of these days, say, we have a little bit of a fun little Deadpool versus Logan, and I would love for these two to partake in that.
Deadpool.
We'll get to that in a bit.
Deadpool.
We'll get to that in a bit.
Deadpool.
Oh, God. Yeah. Oh, hold on a moment. Just in case any wrestling fans are here, John Cena is retiring from. Yeah, I heard about that. John Cena is officially retiring. Something that we all
that
wish
already happened.
Well,
like, honestly,
because Black Adam came back, so did fucking Peacemaker.
I guess, but since I was thinking since he was so big in Hollywood, kind of like The Rock, I figured that he had officially retired. I was surprised to hear that he was now officially retired. I thought that had already happened.
Well, now he is, and unfortunately, The Rock isn't retiring. He's God, whatever happened to him?
He needs to retire from acting.
He needs to go on a sabbatical, like go on vacation. Because
you want to talk about playing the same role? You want to talk about playing the same role every single time?
That's him.
Dude has zero range. Zero range.
It's the same fucking. Don't even get me started on Red Notice. Oh my God, what a horrible movie!
Dude, like everything.
I think that might have been the first AI generated movie ever.
Role.
I want to see actually who wrote that. Give me 1 second.
But speaking of really cool stuff with AI, I don't know if I brought this up last time. We've already talked a whole bunch of TV and movies and anime. I'm going to talk a little bit about music. It's a really cool thing. For any of y'all that are old school country fans who may have heard of the man named Randy Travis, he was a really big late 80s, 90s country artist. He had a stroke, and they didn't think he was going to live, and he's come back, and he's doing really well, and he's mobile. He's just not very well able to sing or do much anymore verbally. Him with some people with him, they basically used AI to write a new song using his voice with him writing it. So it was a really cool collaboration between somebody who could not vocalize anymore and AI to make a new Randy Travis song, which was really, really cool. Like, you can tell if you're really big into music, you can tell there's a little bit of a difference from what his old music sounds like to this. Like, you can tell it's not 100% him, but it's still really cool that somebody who we haven't had music from in over a decade was able to give us something new through the use of AI. Like, that is one of the coolest uses of AI I've seen so far.
Mm-hmm.
So, for those of you guys who don't know who Randy Travis is by name and who are as old as me, if you ever watched Hey Arnold growing up, there was the whole episode where Mr. Wynn goes country. The guy who sings the song that Mr. Wynn sings is Randy Travis.
Ah, I see. Okay, let's see. Yeah, Captain Nemo says, I want John Cena to play Dash Rendar in Star Wars.
I want John Cena to play the most ridiculous role possible for him. Like, because he is such a goofball. I want to see him come in and do something that's so far out of character from him. Like, imagine him doing like a Diary of the Wimpy Kid movie as the main character, and just be like the most ridiculous. And nobody at any point addresses the fact that he's like 5 foot and 300 pounds of muscle. Just nobody talks about it. He's supposed to be this wimpy, nerdy kid, and like the entire time, everybody just goes with it. Like, nobody at any point is like, "Dude, look at you." Until like the post credits, be like, "Dude, you know you're like 300 pounds of solid muscle, right?" What? And that's how it ends. Like, that would be hilarious. Just the entire time, like, nobody says anything. It'll be like one character, and let's say it's like the antagonist. One character, right? Who the entire time is like, "What are you talking about? Your whip? Like, look at you." He's like, "I know, I'm so scrawny." Like, just it would.
Wait, wait! Who died? Who died just now?
Whoa, what?
Okay, someone passed away just recently. Hold on a moment. Hold on. Let's see what he's talking about. Who recently passed away?
I don't see anything.
John Lando.
Who?
Hold on.
Yeah, John Landau died, but that was like 2 days ago. But he was a producer. He wasn't an actor.
Oh, okay.
Okay, listen, I don't normally do something like this, but
Yeah,
I might need to.
if you need to head out, that's fine. I'll let you go now. We're
Okay.
we're basically wrapping up anyway, so yeah. Oh, okay. James Cameron's longtime producer sadly passed away. Rest in peace.
Ouch.
Yeah. So
Alright.
for a moment of silence, we'll give a 2 minute, 1 minute moment of silence, and then I'll let you go. All right. So. And I think that's it for now. Thank you so much for joining. Yeah, see, you can get going. You're good.
All right, thank you for having me and all this other stuff. And Ethan, if I know you definitely watch a lot of anime, so if you want, I can maybe send you a list of ones that either I've seen or even ones that I currently own, and either you've seen them or if you haven't, I definitely recommend them. I'll maybe even show them a trailer just for them.
Yeah. I'm always looking for new stuff.
Yeah, and we will be back next Sunday. Yeah, it's continuing. Next Sunday we'll be back for sure. So stay tuned for more updates on our Facebook pages and whatnot. I gotta also update my personal website for that. So again, stay tuned and thank you, Steve. You're good to go now. And so if you're watching this on YouTube, God damn it! If you're watching this on YouTube. Please hit like, subscribe, comment below if you've on what are your thoughts on the various bits of news, including RWBY. What are your thoughts on RWBY? Are you a fan? Do you love it? Are you on the same boat as both me and Ethan here? Let me know. I would love to hear your thoughts on everything that has gone down for the last hour and 40 minutes. So thank you, Ethan, for joining. I'll see
Of
you
course.
in a week.
Thank you,
And I'll
guys.
see-
You guys have a good one.
And I'll see you tomorrow for the arrival of Metal Gear. So take care, everybody.